Hello, it is Monday. It's a new weekly reading vlog. And I'm tired, so I'm going to make this quick update. I don't know why I'm so tired, because I got a really good night's sleep last night, which is very unusual for me. And I've been working from home. What is this bit of hair doing? I've been working from home today because it's a Monday. Literally all I've done is do my roles for my TBR. That's it. But I started my buddy read of Night Shadow. We read the first 60-ish pages, and I love that it's got straight back into the action. It's followed off from where the first book ended, and it's all good. And then I started Stormglass. I am just over 100 pages in. I'm really enjoying this so far. I'm trying to get used to the fact that we're following a different character, because obviously this is a different series in the world. But I'm really liking Opal so far. She is really great from what we've met of her. And yeah, hoping to finish this one tomorrow. There's 3 hours left of the audiobook. I think I can do it. We shall see. But yeah, and then I've just been planning my August TBR because I need to film that this weekend. I've done my roles, so I know what I'm doing for May the TBR Be With You, but I'm taking part in Series TBR-a-thon next month, and there are 16 prompts. Some of them are games like Pulpic, random number, things like that, so that's fine. But yeah, I'm gonna go because I'm gonna go sleep. It is also really hot, so I'm gonna put my fan back on because and yeah, also this morning when I decided I wanted to wear a music related shirt, I just put my Louis Tomlinson tour top on, only to then find out that today is 11 years since Best Song Ever was released by One Direction. And tomorrow is, I believe, 14 years since they were formed as a band. So I'm going to be listening to One Direction tomorrow. But yeah, I will catch up with you tomorrow. Hello, it is Tuesday. It is not quite dark enough to close my bedroom curtains yet, but it's too dark to not have the ring light on. My phone went off. So we're doing this update now. I am really tired. It is 20 to 9. I'm really tired though, and I think it's because I've read a lot today, but also had a little bit of a dance party in my seat whilst working. We'll explain in a minute. I've read a lot, and then I also had a cider, and alcohol makes me sleepy, so yeah. But the dance party was because today is 14 years since One Direction were formed as a band. It's 14 years since Simon Cowell took their pictures and put them together and made them into a band. So I listened to One Direction, and I put their whole discography on shuffle, which was the best and worst thing I could do, because it went from Drag Me Down, which was one of their, not last songs, but pretty later in their career as a band, and then it jumped back to their first album and played Up All Night, and I was just really hitting the feels because I wasn't feeling that enough all day, really. But reading wise, so I did my buddy read pages for Night Shadow. There was things happening, obviously. There was a really clever thing that I can't say anything about because it would be spoilery, but I'm really enjoying these characters. Obviously we have Falkio and all of those great coats, but I'm also loving the female characters in this. They are so well done, and I'm really having a great time. Sebastian de Castell writes female characters really well, and I really like how he does this, and it is making me want to dive back into the prequel series, because I've only read the first book in that series, the prequel series to the Spellslinger, that is, not the prequel series to this, because obviously I haven't finished this series. So yeah, but I'm really enjoying this. And then I finished Stormglass. So my aim for today was to read my buddy read pages for Night Shadow and then finish this. and I managed to do it a lot earlier in the day than I thought I would, which meant I got to start another book. But this was a 5-star. I am so happy, but now I'm scared, because is this trilogy going to go the same way as the Study trilogy went, where I 5-starred the first one and then 4-starred the second and third? Because I would very much like to enjoy this whole series, but I'm already so invested in this. I'm loving the characters. I like that we're getting characters from the Study trilogy, and I'm really enjoying Opal, and there's like twists that you don't see coming, and I'm just having fun with this. I'm looking forward to reading Sea Glass next month. I need to, it's payday in a couple of days, I need to get Spyglass, because the one I got, I think I mentioned this, the one I got, they sent me the wrong one. It was like the wrong ISBN number, so it doesn't match at all. And if it was a case of the ISBN number was the same, it would have been like, well, that's the chance you take, but they're different ISBN numbers, so I had to get a refund. But now I need to actually get the matching one, because I would like all of my set like to be matching. But yeah, 5-star, very happy. For readathons, well, for May the TBR Be With You, it was my Ezra book, which is to read a YA book. That's YA. For Sixathon, this was Seymour, read a friend's favourite book. This is like Tori's favourite series, like the whole Chronicles of Ixia. So yeah, and obviously I read it for the Ixia read along that Tori and Andy are hosting. So definitely a friend's favourite. And then for Magical Hopathon, this was for Epcot, this was Cosmic Rewind, the attraction, which was read a fast-paced book. This was very fast-paced. So much happens, but it happens in such a way that like it doesn't drag, and it doesn't feel like you're being like info dumped on. It's done very well, and I really like the pacing of it, proven by the fact I binged it in 2 days. And considering yesterday I only actually read this much, and then today I've read all of this, yes. And then I went off TBR. Now, in my defense, I don't really have a defense here because I haven't actually finished my TBR. So my TBR is this, and then The Exiled. The Exiled is an ebook, and right now my brain isn't feeling an ebook, so I can't read any more of this because this is a buddy read. I have set pages I read each day, so I needed more books. So I have no control. I am going to try and complete all of the other prompts on Magical Hopathon because I have no chill whatsoever. So there are some snack and show that I've doubled up, but I've picked out some books that I'm going to try and get to this month. And I feel like if I can stick to the plan I've put into my planner, I think it's doable. I think it's doable. So I have started Here We Go Again by Alison Cochrane. I really love Alison Cochrane's books. I really enjoyed Charm Offensive. I think it was a very, very high 4-star. And then I read Kiss Her Once for Me, and that is like one of my favourite books ever. And like, I'm really sad I don't own a physical copy of it yet. And that is like one of my favourite books. So when this one was like about to come out, because this came out this year, when this one was about to come out and I saw that it is sapphic, you know I was on that straight away. So yeah, I have read the first 50 pages. I will say, look at the triggers. This doesn't have my triggers. I have checked. However, it does have triggers and this is a very heart-wrenching book. In the first 50 pages, I have already cried. And it's going to be a theme. If you read the back, like if you read the blurb, you will understand why. This is a heart-wrenching book, and I have spoken to Chloe from Persistent Bookworm because she's the person that got me into Alison Cochrane's books, and I was wondering if she had read it yet, and she has, and she has said there is a lot of sad about the thing in the blurb, but not as much romance as she would like. So I am now going into this not expecting a romance heavy plot, which I think could be better for me, knowing that. Just like when I went into Feed, I knew it wasn't a zombie book. It was just a book that had zombies in it. So, yes. I'm already enjoying this though. I already love Rosemary and Logan. I think they're great. And I'm really excited to see what happens between them. Because this is also, I wouldn't say second chance romance, but they were friends as teenagers. And then something happened, like they fell out. So, yeah. But now they're adults. And I'm excited to read this. My aim is to finish this tomorrow. So on my planner I've got for Wednesday, read Here We Go Again. I've started it, so I'm a little bit ahead of schedule. And then The Exiled, which is my official TBR book, is for Thursday, Friday. I'm hoping I can stick it to those 2 days. I hope. We shall see. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this, which is good. So that is my update. I've been talking for nearly 10 minutes and I am tired, so I'm gonna go to bed. I've got a day off work tomorrow, so I booked tomorrow off because tomorrow is my parents' 42nd anniversary, like wedding anniversary. And I am cooking a chicken korma for dinner. Now the chicken korma itself is from a jar. It's a really good one though, because I've tried making a korma sauce from scratch before, multiple times, and it just doesn't come out right. So we've gone for the jar that we know we like. However, I am going to attempt to make some onion bhajis and sagaloo because they are both really nice side dishes, and I'm going to attempt to make some. So I'll update you tomorrow on how that goes. But obviously Wednesday is a work from the office day, and I was like, well, I don't want to have to get back, gone 6 p.m. and then start cooking things from scratch, because we won't end up eating till like 7:30, 8, and that's not happening. So I booked the day off because I thought, why not? I'll have a day off. And I don't really have any plans. I'm doing breakfast. I'm doing like a fry up that isn't a fry up. I'm basically doing a fry up, but it's not going to be super greasy because I don't cook things in like oil. So I'm doing that for breakfast, and then I'm going to just binge this. And yeah, maybe if I get that read early enough I can start The Exiled, but I don't think that will happen. We'll see. I am babbling, so I'm gonna go, and I will catch up with you tomorrow. Hello, it's Thursday. I didn't vlog yesterday, so it was my parents' 42nd anniversary yesterday. I had booked the day off work because I was cooking for them. The onion bhajis, it was a air fryer recipe because I don't want to like deep fry stuff. And do you know what? They looked horrendous, but they tasted really nice. So win-win. But yeah, so yesterday I read my Buddy Read pages for Night Shadow. It's over there though, so I can't afford to get it. And then I read a little bit more of Here We Go Again. And then today I was obviously in the office and we had a really good like talk about neurodivergence at the workplace. So we do this like monthly session where we get some resources, and then at the end of the month we get together in the meeting room and we discuss the resources we were given, and it's always on a random topic. So there's been ones on just like print production, design, and then there's been ones on like accessibility, so like talking about like dyslexic friendly books and things like that. And then this one was neurodivergence in the workplace, and it was like, how can you help authors and colleagues like if they're neurodivergent. And it was a really interesting talk, and considering I am undiagnosed ADHD, it was very interesting. And it was quite nice to see how the people who don't seem to be like neurodivergent. Like from what they were saying, they are not. That's not me assuming, it's just from what they were saying, they don't see themselves as neurodivergent. They seem to have taken in a lot of what was said, and it's really nice to see in a workplace, because I know for a fact my old job would not have. So it's really nice to see this. But yeah, on my lunch break, I read a little bit more of this, and I finished reading this on my lunch break, as in like I finished at the end of a chapter, and honestly I am so glad that my lunch break ended where it did, because I sat down this evening, carried on where I'd left off on my lunch break, and instant tears for the last 90 pages of this book. So this was a 5-star, and I'm going to be honest, I'm going to tell you now, this is a romance. However, the side plot, which is mentioned, it's the reason for why they're on a road trip, which is in the blurb. If you want to know what it is, you can read the blurb. But the reason that they're going on this road trip with their old school teacher is supposed to be the side plot. And it is not. It is the main plot. The romance is the side plot. And if I had not have been told by Chloe at Persistent Bookworm, thanks Chloe, that was the case, I would not have enjoyed this as much, because I would have been expecting a romance. And whilst I really enjoyed the romance, I really enjoyed the 2 lesbian main characters. The road trip side of it was heart-wrenching and beautifully written, but it comes with a very strong trigger warning. Please look up the trigger warnings, because this is intense. And I'm very, very lucky I've not had to deal with the trigger in this. But if I had, I would not be able to read this. This was a lot. And it was a lot for me as someone who hasn't had to deal with that. So please look after yourself and look at the triggers if you plan on reading this. But I loved this, even if it did rip my heart out and stomp on it and then throw it into the Grand Canyon. They do visit the Grand Canyon, which is why I mentioned that. I realised after I said it, that's not going to make sense because you're British. Anyway, I really enjoyed this. I am sort of like fitting books into Magical Hobbathon prompts. So, because I am seeing if I can just fill all the prompts. I'm not going to give myself points for these because I'm not reading these in any sort of order. They're just additional books. So I'm not going to give myself points for that because that's not how the point system works. But I have decided that this will go for Kilimanjaro Safaris, which is a book with a road trip or travels to multiple countries. It's a road trip. So, yeah. I love this book. This did not disappoint. So, yeah. Tomorrow, I'm going to read double the pages of Night Shadow. And then I'm also going to start The Exiled. I am now behind my schedule, which is not good. I'm behind on schedule because my plan was to read all of this yesterday. And I was really confident because I started it a day earlier because I started it on Tuesday. But then I didn't finish it yesterday. It was my parents' anniversary. I get a free pass. So yeah, I'm now a day behind schedule because I was supposed to read all of this yesterday and start The Exiled today, and that's not happened. So I'm going to try and get as much of The Exiled read tomorrow as possible because The Exiled I had on my planner as starting it today and finishing it tomorrow, but I don't think that's going to happen, like finishing it tomorrow, because I do have to work. Work is quiet, so that's, I can listen to my audiobook of Night Shadow whilst I'm working because I haven't got a huge amount of like thinking things to do. It's just like basic muscle memory admin. So yeah, that's the plan. I am gonna go. I am so tired. It's so warm, but like I think I'm mostly warm because I was crying, which is why my face is so red. because I was crying for an hour. Would recommend. I would recommend this. Just prepare yourself. So yeah. But I'm gonna go, and I will catch up with you tomorrow, where I will have started The Exiled. Hello, it is Friday. My reading is not going to the plan I set. I'm a little bit behind. So I did catch up on the buddy read of Night Shadow today. I read yesterday's pages and I read today's pages, and I am really enjoying this. So we are now at, bear with, almost halfway. I think that is halfway. Let's see what Goodreads says when I put in my page count. 49%. Oh, so close. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. Me and Kelly obviously are buddy reading this, and we was having a discussion, and I don't know if this would be spoilery, so I'm just gonna like put my hand up just in case, because I don't want to spoil stuff. But Kelly made the point that this plot and what's happening in this plot is very similar to like the French Revolution, and I never thought of it that way because I'm not really into like history unless I learn it on Harbour Histories. So but she explained it in what sense, and I'm like, that makes sense. So yeah, that's interesting, but I am really enjoying this, like very much so. There's so much happening, and yeah, I'm very happy. And then I did start The Exiled by Sarah Daniels, which is the sequel to The Stranded, which I 5-starred last year and absolutely adored. It was so good. I'm enjoying this so far. It's got straight back into the thick of things, and we've got a new point of view, which is really interesting to see. And yeah, it's just it's a slightly different setting and perspectives, and I'm really enjoying it. I am not as far through as I would have liked to be. As per my plan, I was starting it yesterday and finishing it today. Not happening. I started it today and I only got 17%. Me and my mum, actually, and my dad and nephew as well, were watching The Office while we had dinner, and then we carried on watching it after. And then my Tesco shop come, so I didn't get as much read as I would have liked today, but it's fine. So yeah, I will catch up with you tomorrow. I would like to say finishing The Exiled. Don't know if it's going to happen because it's an ebook. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and read a little bit tomorrow, but then I'm also going to try and start one of my other books that maybe has a audiobook that I can just like sort of read a bit quicker, just to try and not fall too far behind, because I think my issue is if I try to binge an ebook, I'm going to end up reading basically nothing and doing nothing else on my time. So if I read the ebook until I start struggling with the ebook, then I will take a break and move to an audiobook / physical book and do it like that, and keep doing that until I finish The Exiled. But yeah, I couldn't find the audiobook on any of my library apps, so I was like, I guess this one's gonna be an ebook, which is annoying, but it's fine. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go because I'm tired. I will say I got my Afterlight today for July, and I'm really excited about the book. The book sounds amazing. However, I don't like the artwork on the author letter, which is the same artwork as the end papers. It reminds me of a graphic novel I read that I hated the artwork for. And I'm just like, oh no. So if I end up enjoying this book, I'm probably going to replace my copy because I'm not a fan of it, which is a shame because the sprayed edges is stunning. Like, I'm obsessed with the sprayed edges, but we'll see. Yeah. faces just look weird. I don't like it. Anyway, I'm babbling now. I'm gonna go and I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Hello, it is Saturday. I don't have as many reading updates as I would like, but I do have some. So I did read my Buddy Read pages of Night Shadow. I'm really enjoying this. Today's pages were really, really good. There was one thing, I'm not saying what it was, there was one thing was just so cleverly done, and I love Falkio. He's so clever. I love him. And then I am almost halfway through The Exiled. I am really struggling with this, and it's nothing to do with the book. It's just that it's an ebook and I don't have an audiobook to go with it, and I'm struggling. But I'm nearly halfway through. I'm enjoying this, but I'm struggling to keep up with all the different point of views, and now it's going between different point of views and different locations. So the first book was all based on the ship, but this book is not. And this book is placed in different places and with different POVs, and I am starting to struggle to keep track of where everyone is. But the storyline itself and the plot itself is good. I am just getting confused and trying to keep track. So we'll see how this goes. And then I started Bride, like my reread. I only got like 70 odd pages in, but that's fine because I read the twits today. Now, there are... I wouldn't recommend Roald Dahl books to the kids of today. I wouldn't. There are some that are, yeah, okay. This is probably one of the better ones. However, this is the first time I've read this since I was at least 12 or 13. I reread this so much as a child that my sister ended up taking her copy back and my mum had to buy this copy. But I read it so much that this copy, like the glue is really starting to go for it, and it's so like, it feels overread. I don't know if that makes sense. Also, this was £4.99. Damn, I remember when paperbacks were only a £5. So yeah, it's been a while since I reread this, and there was just like a couple of things that just made me feel a bit don't like that. So yeah, and I know Roald Dahl was not the greatest person, and there's no excuse for the fact that, you know, times were different back then. No. But yeah, overall I still really enjoyed this. It did come out as a 3-star going into it with my adult brain, but this was like one of my favorite books as a kid. I still had a fun time with it. I probably would reread it again, not gonna lie. But for Magical Harpathon, what did I put this for? So this was for the Peter Pan, which was to read a classic. It's a Roald Dahl book, so yeah, classic. So yeah, I at least finished a book. The goal today was to finish this as well, and I'm only like 70 odd pages in, but it's fine. I spent too long trying to read the ebook. I did not do what I planned, where when I started struggling, I moved to a different book. I just carried on trying to struggle through. But tomorrow, I'm gonna read The Exiled. I've got an appointment for my MRI on my knees, so I'm gonna read. Also, I spilled food down me. Just realised that's on camera. I'm not refilming this clip in a different piece of clothing. It's fine. So I'm gonna try and read this on the way to and from the health centre, and while I'm waiting, and hopefully I can get another big chunk. And then when I'm on my sprints, because I'm starting sprints later, I am going to read my Buddy Read pages for this and then just try and finish this. I think this will be doable tomorrow. Ideally I would like to finish the Exile tomorrow, but I don't think that's going to happen. But we'll see. My plan was that I was going to read Bookshops on Bone Dust tomorrow, but that's not going to happen now, is it? Not unless miracles happen. So yeah, but it's fine. I can do this, maybe. But on that note, I am going to wrap this vlog up because I'm really tired, and obviously I've got to leave the house tomorrow. So I hope you have enjoyed this vlog. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye.